Hey guys, David here, and today I want to talk a little bit about the late Alan Rickman, who just passed away today at the age of 69. Apparently, he passed away due to cancer, and it wasn't too long from David Bowie, who just passed away also a few days ago, also from cancer. And my grandfather, as you guys know, also passed away because of cancer, and it's pretty tragic when finding out, especially now knowing what cancer is and what it does to somebody. It's very tragic knowing how that all accumulates. And I just wanted to send my condolences to the family of Alan Rickman because it's a nice thing to do. And yeah, I wanted to talk about a little bit about what I thought of him as an actor and what I thought of his films, because Alan Rickman has done a lot of films that I have really enjoyed throughout the years. I think a lot of people can remember him from such movies as Die Hard. He plays Hans Gruber, in my opinion, the best action villain known out there. The best, not just the best Die Hard villain, the best action villain. Maybe even one of the best villains of all time. If I were to do a list, I'm sure he'd probably be one of the top 20 out there for sure for me. Another character a lot of people might remember him as is Severus Snape from the Harry Potter franchise. I mean, who cannot forget him as Snape? He had some really great moments throughout that entire franchise. I remember in the first two films thinking that, hey, is this guy playing the bad guy or is he a good guy? And then obviously it seemed like he was on the side of good. But then as the movies continued, especially in the last three films, Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, we find out that maybe he is the bad guy after all. And then we find out, no, he was actually the good guy all along, serving under Dumbledore and helping to protect Harry, because he was also in love with Harry's mother. And he brought such great depth to that character that Snape is actually one of my all-time favorite Harry Potter characters. If I were to list my top five, he's definitely up there in my top five. Another movie I want to mention is Galaxy Quest. I think Galaxy Quest was a movie, when I originally saw it, I didn't know if a lot of people liked it. I thought maybe I was one of the few people that liked it. And nowadays, at least these last 5 years, I've been noticing a lot of people talking very highly about Galaxy Quest. So it's really nice to see that a lot of people really liked it. And he was definitely one of the best characters. I think the whole cast in general was great in that movie, but he definitely was playing the Leonard Nimoy type character, and he brought that richness to that film. He was also, his selections were interesting sometimes, because he goes from a movie like Harry Potter to something like Die Hard to something like Galaxy Quest, and then something like Dogma, a Kevin Smith movie. Like, I would never have thought, if you told me in a million years, Alan Rickman was in a Kevin Smith movie, I wouldn't believe it. But he is actually in there, and it shows that he was doing anything that he thought was going to be good entertainment. And that's what makes a really good actor, I think. Not someone who's very snobby and thinks, oh, I'm just going to do, this good artsy stuff. He did a whole variety of films. If you look at his list on IMDb, he has such a range of films that he's done, like comedy, action, fantasy, and then he has a lot of those indie projects he's done throughout the years as well, which is really cool. It really shows what kind of an actor he was, and to hear what other actors who have worked with him have to say about him it's really nice reading. Like, I just read some of the comments from his Harry Potter co-stars and Emma Thompson, all talking about him, and it's really nice hearing all these nice stories about him, that all these fond memories, and that he was a really nice guy. Despite the kind of characters he might have played once in a while, people forget that, the type of characters that they play aren't necessarily them. There's more to them than that. And Daniel Radcliffe was actually talking about how Alan Rickman gave him a lot of advice throughout the years. And apparently he went to a lot of his plays in New York, and I believe in England as well. And He was also saying that he was the kind of person that, if you tried calling him up, he would try to get back to you through that day. And that's really cool knowing that stuff like that. It's nice. It humanizes him even more, and knowing that he was that kind of a person that liked to help his friends out. So there's so many other movies I could be talking about of his, but I think I went through the ones that I remember the most. Obviously, I just remembered Alice in Wonderland as well. That's another thing of how great his voice was as an actor. His voice is very recognizable. I put him up there with like Liam Neeson and Morgan Freeman as one of the most recognizable voices in Hollywood as well. As soon as you hear him in an animated movie or something like Alice in Wonderland, where he did the voice of the caterpillar, even though I didn't like that movie, you instantly recognize his voice, and that was what was really good too. Another movie that he was really great in that I remember watching was Sweeney Todd with Johnny Depp. He was even singing in that movie. I mean, the guy, he's clearly a theater actor. Theater actors are like top notch, man. They have all the talent in the world as far as I'm concerned. And so an actor with theater background definitely can take things to the next level, in my opinion. So I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think about Alan Rickman. Are you gonna miss him now that he's no longer with us? There's no. I think he's going to be. I think he did do his voice for the next Alice in Wonderland movie, Through the Looking Glass. So I don't know if that's his last project. I have my computer here in front of me. It looks like that is his last project, and it's completed, coming up this year. So it looks like Through the Looking Glass will be his final film that he's done, and I probably, even though I wasn't too fond of the first Alice in Wonderland movie, I'll probably, and even though he's not acting in it, the fact that it will be his last performance in some way or another, I will go check the movie out just because of that. And I'm hoping Disney has improved on this one anyways than the last one. And he definitely will be missed. He will be an actor that you will miss his presence. And it's really sad, seriously. So rest in peace, Alan Rickman. You will be missed.